I'm Kenyatta Brown, stager and designer. Here are 5 tips that every professional stager needs to know to help with the sale of a home. Tip 1. So tip 1 is going to be, if it's a vacant staging, then we need to bring in furniture. We need to bring in pieces that will allow this space to show its best face forward, period, whatever that looks like. Now, if the house is occupied, then we need to look at the space and see if there's too much furniture. If we've had 2 households come together and we need to delete 1 of 2 sofas, delete 2 of 4 accent chairs, then that's what we need to do. Not only do we need to minimize the furniture count, but we also need to look at the cohesiveness of the furnishings. Do they match? So we need to see what that looks like. Tip 2, let's talk about our window coverings. So if we have curtains on the windows, let's think about it. Are they room darkening? Because if so, we need to pull those down because we want as much light to come in as possible. Furthermore, if the color is dark, we want to neutralize them. So if it's light filtering and it is a neutral tone, it can stay. Now, if it is a heavy pattern and it is room darkening, it needs to go. Tip 3, counter spaces. On our countertops, we need to look at what's there. Now, let's talk about the occupied staging first. In the occupied staging, of course, we need to declutter. We want to see what that counter space looks like. However, we don't need it to be a blank slate. We need something there. Some small appliances can stay. Now, we don't need your toaster, we don't need your knives, we don't need the slew of everything. But if you have a trending, let's say your small appliance is that nice KitchenAid mixer, it can stay. Some Keurigs can stay. I wouldn't go with the older models. If you got a newer Keurig, it can stay. People love coffee stations. So we will play with what's on our countertop. Things that will enhance the countertop, but not too much. Now this goes into vacant staging. When a home is being staged, it's funny because I get, personally, some people to tap me on the shoulder to say, hey, put more on the counter. I want to look, okay. We're selling a house. We're not selling the products that illuminate the counter. We are selling the house. So let's concentrate on selling this kitchen. How much counter space do I have? So I'll bring in your coffee maker. I'll set up your coffee station if I'm staging a vacant home. Tip 4. Now, let's take a look at our bathrooms. Oh my goodness. Let's bring this spa type feel to the bathrooms. Let's bring in crisp white towels. Let's give that feel of checking into an Airbnb or a nice hotel. Crisp, plush, white tiles. That's what we want to go with. Now, we want to keep our countertops bare. If we have an oversized countertop where we have the double sink, you're allowed to put a few things in the middle. You can roll a few towels. You can even use a small pottery piece and roll some face towels. Those are inviting. And also consider maybe a apothecary jar with a few cotton balls in it, or even those round bath balls that you drop in the bathtub. Those are nice as well. But just keep in mind that spa type feel. All right, tip 5. Let's talk about the warmth of the space in general. Now, we've talked about very important spaces throughout the house. The buyers have walked through. They've gained their thought pattern of what this house feels, look like for the different areas. Let's warm the space up. Let's give them thoughts of what to take with them when they leave. Let's make sure that bed is made impeccable. Let's think about a department store bed. That bedding is fluffy, it has accent pillows, it has its layers of sleeping pillows. It's nice, clean, and it looks comfortable. It looks like you want to dive in it. Let's bring that to them. Also, think about the wall space. You don't need prints, art, wall hangings on every wall. You need to give them some idea of what they can put on the wall. Make sure you've depersonalized that none of your personal wall hangings are hanging, but also Think of leaving some wall space so they can see themselves of what they want to hang on their walls when they buy the property. Think about coffee tables and side tables. Just adding sparks of greenery or elements that are memorable. Perhaps you laid across the beads that people are laying over tables. They're laying over coffee books. They have a candle there, not a lit candle, of course, but they just have something that has just a spark of gleam. There's a vignette there. That's what we call them. That's something to think about. They assist in your photography as well. So when you're taking your photos for the internet, these are a few pieces that warm the space and that will stand out. I've been a stager and designer for over 15 years, and these tips are what has helped me sustain my career. I'm Kenyatta Brown, owner of Manchester Design Group, and I really hope these tips help you.